Take a moment to find your center again and again and again until it becomes your habit to be centered. Close your eyes and tune in with your spine. Arrive in your spine, arrive in your cells, arrive in your breath here and now. Not the idea of yourself, but the experience of yourself. The experience of your breath. The living experience of your breath. The living experience of your cells. Mind is only stories. The story is in the past. But life is not in the past. Life is alive. Means life is here and now. So mind cannot directly engage with life. Mind can only engage with the past, with the story. So for a moment, be quiet. If you can be quiet, even for a moment, immediately you're thrust into the presence. So we all want to be beautiful. We all want to look good and be beautiful. Why? Why do we want to be beautiful? Mostly we want approval from others. We can only see ourselves through others. If others respect us, then okay, then I'm good. If other people think I'm beautiful, then I feel good. So this beauty is a kind of false beauty, is a kind of trap. Thirst trap, we call now. Thirst trap for the ego. And we spend a lot of time and we put a lot of money and a lot of energy into being beautiful. So that's well and good. But what about the inner beauty? Okay, the surface is beautiful. Beautiful face, beautiful teeth, beautiful clothing, beautiful smile. But what about the inner beauty? We take time every day, we call hygiene, basic hygiene. Brush your teeth, take a shower, wash your clothes, put on fresh clothes. But for sure, we can all agree this is superficial level. Superficial means on the surface. Your teeth are on the surface. Your skin is on the surface. The clothes are on the surface. So, is there some process, some way that we can cultivate the inner beauty? We have rituals for the outer beauty, and that's fine and good. Every culture has different rituals. Painting the body, different clothing, different style, different way of talking and walking and everything. And so what if we were to dedicate a little time to cultivating the inner beauty? This inner beauty, which is a kind of aliveness, right? We see like a plant. You see a plant that's shriveled up, no leaves, no color, just barely hanging on, right? So then you see a plant that's fully alive. This is what we mean, to be beautiful, to be alive, to be, nourished. And so if you water the garden will grow. So this is why we recommend to take time, a little time each day to activate your biology, your organs, your cells, your blood, your nervous system, to tune, to awaken, to warm up, like a sports player. Right? If you play a sport, then it's expected that you're going to warm up before you play. If you don't, then you're not going to play well, and you're jeopardizing your team. And so it's part of your responsibility to stay in shape and to warm up. And so by taking a little time out each day, it's not time wasted, it's not time lost, it's time to love yourself. By doing the practice, by challenging yourself, by showing up, by staying present, this is the ultimate act of love. Love yourself doesn't mean buy yourself chocolates and write cheesy poems and everything. Love yourself means give yourself time and space. Allow yourself to breathe, to feel. Right? To listen to your inner voice. This is love. This is respect yourself. So the practice itself is creating a container, creating a space within which you can practice that every day. And through the practice of loving yourself, then it becomes very natural to love yourself, to be at home in yourself, to be in rhythm with yourself. It must become a habit. Like a sports player, you hit the ball, but you hit the ball every time you hit it into the net. If you're playing tennis, you don't have the proper form. You're not holding the racket properly. So what do you have to do? Now you don't have to think about it and overthink it and study aerodynamics and buy a new tennis racket or change your clothes or go to a new tennis court. Right? What you need is to practice the basic drill again and again with the proper form, proper posture, again and again and again and again and again until eventually it becomes habit. Impossible not to hit it properly. In the same way, you have to bring yourself back to center, align yourself, your breath, your nervous system, your body, heart, and mind, bring together again and again, every day, to start the day. Right? When does the musician tune their instrument? When is the right time to tune your instrument? Before you play. The orchestra tunes before they play. So start of the day, take a few minutes aside to awaken yourself. Movement, breath, vibration, stillness. It doesn't have to be these movements. But this is good because these movements that we're doing are specifically focused for activating, tuning your biology, working with your nervous system. Right? But anything, doing some fitness, some exercise, some jogging, move the energy in your body, then some focused breathing, and then stillness. This is working together. And if you start your day it's like turning on the lights. You awaken your cells, awaken your blood, your organs, your heart, your brain, your nervous system. And then you approach life from this place of awakeness. It's the same if you imagine you're going to the park on a weekend and everybody's playing a game of football and running around, having a great time. Everybody's smiling, laughing, having a great time, kicking the ball, running, etc. So you jump on the field, but you start running, you get cramp. You get a cramp, and then you start to you start to gasp for breath, and it feels like someone's killing you. It's like a torture. You feel like you're being tortured and killed. Everyone else is running around and smiling, and they're having a good time. They're playing the same game. It's exactly the same game at the same time. But there's only one difference. What is that difference? Out of shape. In shape and out of shape. If you're out of shape, life becomes like a torture, a punishment. Right? Out of shape doesn't mean just physically, emotionally, mentally. We have to train, this training to stay in shape. Right? And that's why we recommend taking a little time each day. The recommendation we're giving now is 2%. 2% of 24 hours is 30 minutes. In 30 minutes, you can activate your body, heart, and mind. It's like cleaning, like you wash your clothes. Every day you wash your clothes. This is a washing. Washing, releasing the excess tension, the leftover stale emotions and thoughts. Everything needs to be digested. So the practice itself is for digesting the life experience and then turning that back into energy, into power. And you cultivate the inner power, inner beauty. And so this is the practice is not to be good at yoga or to do acrobatics. It's to be able to be grounded in yourself. To feel grounded, like a tree is rooted and grounded, you feel grounded in yourself. Of course, still difficult situations occur. But it doesn't, instead of knocking you over, you're able to flow with it, to sway with it. You're able to keep your center, maintain, to regulate your nervous system. This is why it's so important, the breathing practice, stillness practice. This is a retraining the nervous system to be able to handle a higher charge of energy. And so like playing a sport, like playing a musical instrument, if you dedicate a little time each day, then after a few weeks, few months, you become very skillful. It becomes natural. And so we recommend, when you leave, to do 100 days challenge. Means for 100 days, every day, you wake up, you do your practice. And you figure out what practice you can do, what you can commit to. We have a recommendation, like this spinal sequence, what we did last night. What we did last night, breathing meditation, bam, 30 minutes. You can always add something, but don't subtract. At least for 100 days, you do the full practice. And then you see how you feel. Take notes, observe. Not just during the practice, for sure you'll go deeper. But more importantly, observe how you are in your daily life. Your sleep rhythm, the way that you relate to others, your mood, your digestion, right? The way that you speak to yourself, your inner dialogue. These are the signs that practice is working. This is our focus. Everyone now is showing off some acrobatics, something, proving like, look at me, I can prove I can do something. But this has nothing to do with yoga. Yoga is this art of how to be deeply grounded and at ease, at home, within yourself, in this moment, right here and now. It has nothing to do with yesterday or tomorrow. Yoga is this for this here and now. Like in sports, when you train in sports, you have to put that into practice in the game. So the game time, when is game time, right? We're training for this game. When is the game? Is here and now. It's ever flowing here and now. This is the buzzer, they're blowing the whistle. The game is about to start. It's starting here and now. Keep starting here and now. And so this is the life training. And if we can improve even a little bit, even small improvement in golf swing. Now people playing golf and they're spending lots of money for the golf pros to improve their swing. They get a small improvement, they're very happy. So imagine we make a small improvement in the way that we speak to ourselves. A small improvement in the way that we breathe, in the way that we're able to calm down after we have a strong reaction. This is what we're talking about. We're working on the foundation of our life experience and how we show up in our daily life. And so that's why we submit ourselves to these mini challenges, these mini experiments, like to hold the posture and keep your center. Right? Is so in order to reprogram your nervous system for daily life. And it works. For sure it works. I've seen it work tens of thousands of times. The same way, if you go to basketball camp and you train basketball drills and you do the drills sincerely, for sure you get better at basketball. I promise you get better at basketball. If you go to tennis camp or band camp, and every day you're doing the drills, you play your drills and exercises, you play together, then 100% you'll get better. You'll become a better musician. In the same way, if you do the basic training to be grounded, rooted in yourself, to tune your nervous system, your cells, your organs, all of this, 100%, not even 50%, 100%. If you water the garden will grow. 100%. Because it's not, what it's important to understand this is that what we're tapping into is the power and intelligence of life. It's not myself. It's not myself that needs to do something. You see, first you have a seed, a small seed. Inside of that seed, you have this perfect intelligence. Everything is contained in the seed. The whole pattern for that tree, all the energy that's needed, everything, that perfection is within each and every seed. And there's some energy, some intelligence that is governing the whole process from beginning to end. That same intelligence and energy is in the seed, is in the egg, and the seed that has produced you. Every part of all of it. And so that perfection, perfect intelligence is still inherent in every cell and every molecule and every atom. Every iota of your existence is infused with that. And so all we're doing is activating that, right? By properly aligning the biochemistry, then instead of activating all the trauma and the troubles and the ego and the desires like that, we can activate. That's one way, but the other is to activate instead the underlying intelligence and power of the universe, right? Which is inherent in every seed, and the one that produced you, and that produced everything, and it's still part of every iota of existence within you and everything. And so it's not my intelligence that has to figure something out. Right? Simply, we need to come into alignment and then allow that essence, that intelligence, that wisdom, that power, which is inherent in every spark of fire, in every drop of water, in every blade of grass, in everything, in every organ of everything, and everything is that perfect intelligence. And so the practice is not about fixing something or figuring something out. Simply allowing that aliveness to express itself through you in its own unique way. Right? That's the uniqueness, is the you, but you are not the doer. Right? I'm not the one doing this. What am I doing? Am I beating my heart? Am I digesting my food? Am I thinking these thoughts? Am I choosing these thoughts? Am I choosing these emotions? Where do they come from? There's some intelligence that's inherently involved in the orchestration of this universe. In the my whole body is a universe, unfathomable. I call this mine. This is me, my body. Do I know what's going on in my hand right now? Do I know anything what's going on in this blood or these cells? Nothing. I know nothing. At best, some abstract information. Oh, there's a bone here, and a metatarsal, and a this and that. Nothing. It's meaningless. I have no idea what's actually happening in my hand right now, let alone in my mind, in my heart. So life is unknown, and this which I call myself, I don't even know. I don't even know. No idea. So it can be known. Nobody's known it. Right? And so all we need to do is allow that which it is. We don't even need to call it anything, but that aliveness, which is expressing itself through everything. The aliveness is in the sun, is in the electricity. The aliveness is in the matter, is in the wood, is in the cement, in the everything. That aliveness is expressing also through this temporary situation they call Joel. And so what is yoga is not to control life and fix everything. No, it's simply to come into alignment, to cultivate the deep roots and a deep sense of presence, and then allow that creative intelligence of life to flow. And to be present is the greatest joy, the greatest wisdom. We mistake happiness. Now that we have misunderstanding, think that happiness is getting what you want. Happiness is winning. My team wins, I'm happy. But actually, that is just a momentary, temporary intoxication. Like when you eat sugar. You eat sugar, you feel excited. Right? So you get what you want, you're excited. But excitement is not happiness. Excitement is a kind of like a fire, desire. Excitement comes from desire, attachment, right? But very soon, all my life, I wanted that car. I get that car, finally. Then all of a sudden, I don't really care. I want something else. You see? So if you eat a lot of sugar, temporarily you get very excited. But then after you have the shoot, you go down. And the excitement is replaced by fear or by desire for something else. Right, for example, I always wanted this, finally I get it, now I'm afraid to lose it. I'm afraid someone's gonna take it. My girlfriend, take my life, my money, something. So this has nothing to do with happiness. Happiness is actually the state of not wanting anything, not needing anything. A kind of fullness, like you eat a meal, you feel full, I'm not hungry. This is contentment. It's a kind of peacefulness. Nothing is missing. The feeling nothing is missing. Normally we have the feeling not enough. I don't have enough. I'm not good enough. I didn't do enough. It's never enough. So in this state, even you get what you want. There's like a temporary intoxication, a mini high and then again, not enough, not good enough, not enough. So happiness is this state of enough. I don't need anything. No, in this state of fullness, of wholeness, then this is a kind of peace, a peacefulness. It doesn't come from achievement. No amount of achievement will bring you to happiness. Achievement is mostly for the others, is to prove something. Look, I'm good enough. Then we respect me, love me. We are trying to prove something through achievement. But to be yourself, to be present is not an achievement. To be at home in yourself. This is the ultimate success, is to be yourself. This is actually, I saw very clearly that I don't have a life. We usually have this statement, what do I do with my life? My life. What about my life? In my life, I have a life. But I saw very clearly, there's no me. There's no me existing separate, some entity that exists that has a thing called a life. The actual state is that life has a me. Life, which has the trees and the grass and everything and is manifesting as all the tulips and all the fishes, life has a me. Life temporarily has a me. There's a me that's existing temporarily as a manifestation of life. But I do not have a life. This is a wrong understanding. And so, if life has a me, then what is the purpose of life? I am the purpose of life, to be myself. No, life is manifesting as me, and so the purpose of my life is to be myself. And so I'm living that purpose every moment. It's not like locked away in a safe, and on one special day I'm going to take it out and, here's the purpose, let's do it. Let's have a big celebration for my purpose. Every moment, every interaction, every relationship, every day, everything you see is the purpose. You're living your purpose. The purpose is something to live. It's not like carve on the tombstone, your purpose. It's a living and breathing. It's alive, like you're alive. And so this is the trip, is that we have to, in order to be yourself, you have to forget yourself. No amount of obsessing over yourself will be yourself. These are all other people's stories and ideas that we're caught up in. You have to think, you have to plan to be something else, to be someone else, to fit in with whatever you've been told to do. But to be yourself is spontaneous. So this is why we do that in sports. You practice the drill again and again so that in the game, without thinking, in the flow state. Same with music. You practice the scales again and again so that when you're playing, you're in a flow state like a jazz musician. So for the yoga, that's why we're doing this. We're practicing again and again so that in daily life, right, we're in this state of flow. And not caught on the fence. What should I do? What should I say? What should I wear? Where should I go? What should I eat? And spinning again in that. Impossible. Through that process, you can never be yourself. But if for a moment you forget, then immediately you're being yourself. So this is why in the practice we've become too obsessed with ourselves to the point we become paralyzed. And so this is why all the spiritual traditions, they said, become like a child. It's that natural, that playfulness, that aliveness, the purity, the openness, the vulnerability. This is the richness of life. Only a child can appreciate the richness of life. The adult is too serious, always focused on over there. Well, I gotta get there, what's next, whatever, pushing, cannot enjoy the present moment. So this is what's meant by the child. For me, I started growing up in the United States of America. Then I was growing up in Quebec, and then growing up in Brazil, and growing up in India. Now I'm growing up in Cambodia. 46 years I'm growing up. I feel like this never ending. I have no illusion of some false concept of adulthood where I have to cut myself off from my joyfulness and playfulness, aliveness and creativity. And so we have the opportunity to learn and grow every day through each interaction, through each experience, through each breath. And so that's why when we do the practice, then you have the stamina, you have in shape so that you can keep up with life. Otherwise you get slammed by life. And so it's not just enough physical health. We need the emotional health, mentally healthy. Emotionally alive. Healthy means, what is healthy? It means alive. Nowadays, when people talk about health, they mean not sick. Health means the absence of illness. But actually, health is not the absence of illness. Health is the presence of aliveness. Mental health, what is mental health today? Mental health is just a nice way to say mental illness. All we have is a model of illness, what it means to be sick. We don't know what it means to be healthy, what it means to be alive. There's no model for that. So we have to look at nature. Nature is alive. Nature is in the state of aliveness. And so this is why we talk about the aliveness. That aliveness itself is an intelligence. Aliveness is not stupid. That which is alive in the tree, in the river, in the sun, is not stupid. And so that aliveness is within you. That aliveness, it's not only within you, it is you. Question. I would like to understand more about brain energy and frequency. What does it mean to be on high vibration? So you have like a radio waves, or you have the waves, right? And you have waves that are more lower frequency, which are very low and have a low vibration, and they're moving very slowly. And then you have waves at a higher frequency, which are moving much, much more quickly. And then you have in between that scale all different range of frequencies. And so what we tend to call low vibration is thoughts about like death and murder, and essentially everything you could watch on TV or see, anything about cheating and stealing and lying and being fake and everything. That creates a certain energy. Same like emotions. Emotions have a different vibration frequency. So the emotion of fear or anxiety or anger, if you trace that in your body, you feel the thing. But the feeling of compassion or peace, completely different frequency. Right? And so these and so one has to learn to pay attention to these subtle frequencies inside. This is when I was talking yesterday about the subtle senses, the subtle feeling, the subtle hearing inside. And so this is also why we're working with vibration, with Om, and these things is filtering, because we have the low frequency, but we can filter that, and then it becomes the pure frequency, the high frequency. Right, so the same way, when you're turning the radio dial, you're on some channel, it's all like very heavy metal and really intense, or it's all like static, like that all the time. Then you're able to change the channel, different frequency, and it becomes very melodious, very pure. So inside our mind is like this. Our heart, our emotions also. Even on the surface we're smiling, but inside we have these different frequencies, pressure. And so this is why this form of yoga is working with the subtle, balancing the inner pressure. These frequencies are circulated in your breath. Right? All of our trauma and all of the strong emotions and memories become trapped in the different joints and in the breath and in the belly. And so all of the practices, whether the physical movements or the breathing practice or meditation, or practices like creativity, like walking in nature, like you go swim in the ocean, these are helping again to change the frequency. You go walk barefoot in nature, you listen to the sound of the birds and the insects. This is cleaning your nervous system, cleaning your heart. You go for massage or acupuncture, all of these things. You eat healthy food, you sit and have a beautiful conversation with a kind soul. All of this is nourishment. All of this is medicine. All this is changing the frequency. If you go into a movie theater and watch a movie where they're killing everybody, this is also affecting the frequency. Right? You open the newspaper and read all this nonsense and madness, also affecting your frequency. So everything is affecting your inner frequency. There's a way we can develop a thicker protection so that outside doesn't affect us as much inside. Right? That's why through our practice we're cultivating a strong, beautiful, luminous essence and presence by tuning yourself again and again, and thus the stuff that from outside will have less effect. It will penetrate less because inside already you have this richness, this fullness within you. In your nervous system. It's a frequency. It's like a kind of pressure. You know, like the earth has a gravitational field. And so you have different levels of atmosphere, right, with different pressure. The same around you is different atmosphere, different atmospheric pressure. And so we have to especially when we talk about inner beauty, means make your organs beautiful, your blood, your breath, your nervous, your rhythm inside. Instead of the fighting, your mind fighting with yourself or the past or all these harsh words, everything, right? Little by little, you start to clean up. Right, at first it's difficult. Imagine you have a bathroom and you never clean your bathroom for 20 years. Now you have to clean the bathroom. So first time, not easy. It's going to be difficult the first couple times, but after some time then it becomes very clean. The same, you want to make a garden. At first you have to prepare the soil. If it's very hard soil, then at first is most difficult. To start the garden, to start a new garden is most difficult because the soil full of rocks, full of weeds, very hard. It's been neglected. But if you take the time, then after some weeks, some months, then the garden starts to blossom without fail. You have a plant, a house plant that hadn't been watered and is all shriveled up. It looks like it's dead. But if you give it water, all of a sudden it springs back to life. You've seen it, I'm sure you've seen it. You can cut the tree from the trunk, the whole tree grows itself back. So no matter where we are now in this moment, if we start to give the proper nourishment, if you start to water your garden, activate your cells, your spine, train your breathing, focus your mind, cultivate this stability and ease. Learn to be comfortable in the uncomfortableness. Not running, uncomfortable, run away. Feel the uncomfortableness, meet it head first. Greet it instead. When the uncomfortableness comes, when the resistance comes, greet it like a friend. Oh, hello, nice to see you again. Instead of like, instead of make the story, just breathe with it, because really, what is that uncomfortableness? Is a knot within which the love and power of the universe is stuck. Your love and power is stuck in some knot somewhere. And so you hit up against that is some resistance, some uncomfortableness. But if you're able to stay with it, not react, then it unlocks and then you get flooded with energy, with power. So the resistance, uncomfortableness is not the enemy. And that's why we train a little bit every day. 20 minutes, 30 minutes every day, no biggie. You don't have to push, you don't have to be good, not a show. The best is you do it secret. You don't even show anyone, like a ninja. You do your practice and go on with your life. Nobody has to know. Secret practice. No, but you know yourself, you'll know for yourself. If it works, then that's a miracle, right? Imagine you could feel more relaxed. You could feel more present. You could be more creative. That would be a freaking miracle. Breathe better, sleep better, set boundaries, and feel good about yourself. That would be a freaking miracle. And so it's worth to see. Right, for sure, I can assure you, if you practice French every day for 3 months, after 3 months, you'll become much better at French. If you practice sincerely, sincerely. If you practice violin every day, so to practice being grounded in yourself, in your body, in your heart, and your mind. That's not a thought, it's an experience. You see, our whole life has become thinking. We're just living in stories about stories, and we're editing the stories, and we're telling different stories to everyone. We're telling stories to ourselves. But it's all empty. This is the pose. This is the difference between posers, a poser, and the poise. This is what we're talking about, from striking a pose to being in poised, having the depth. You have a depth in your mind. You have a depth in your heart. The whole universe, you have all the emotions there, everything's there. But no need to get stuck in any one thing. To get trapped in one story, in one idea, in one identity. This is poise. Means rooted, grounded, and at ease. Because you are the purpose of the universe. Life is manifested as you. If it wanted something else, then it becomes something else. And so to be yourself is the ultimate gift you can give to life, to others. What does it mean to feel like to reach a resolution with one relationship with life? The one where there's no conflict internally. Life itself is a kind of conflict. To be alive is a conflict. So every day, in fact, to think that life should not be conflict, this is a problem, because life is the friction by which this universe is born, the sun shining, the atom spinning, time itself is conflict. No, the energy being used, expended, everything has this time. So existence itself is conflict, so the waves of existence are natural. What's needed is to learn how to surf the waves, so that you can, whatever wave is coming, you can surf that wave. This is the meaning of flexibility. Flexibility, now misunderstood like to touch your toes and contortion and acrobatics. But real flexibility means to be able to flow with the moment, like a jazz musician, like a sports player. The flexibility means you adapt all the games happening, the play changes, you flow with that. That's the flexibility. So the joy of life is not that everything is calm and peaceful and everything is how you want it and you control. The joy is to be able to show up and play your part, to participate, to be in the dance, to share and to give to others, from what you've received. But there's the idea that somehow there's a stasis by where everything, that we can experience in deep meditation. You can go, but that's beyond the body. In that state, there's no ego, no you, no me, no Cambodia, no America, no nothing, no country, no time. We can go in that place in the great beyond. And it's important to do that every day. If possible, you go to the great beyond every day. It's going to activate, it's going to fill you with the kind of nectar, with the kind of like a wine. The ancient people would call wine, the Sufi mystics. You get filled with that wine, that bliss in the great beyond, but then you still got to show up here and do the dance. You have to do, this is duality. Now we're in duality. So this what we can say the closest is this: once you eat a meal, you feel full, you're not hungry. So that state of being enough. When I say I am enough, I don't mean Joel Altman sitting here, who is the founder of Hairline. I mean the whole universe, every star and planet, every ocean, every shell, every fish, everything is enough. It's not about me. It means that life is enough. Every iota of life, every moment of birth and death, and everything in between that's ever happened anywhere and that's happening in this moment is enough. It's a trust that everything is in its place and that I don't know better. No, I feel, but what if this and this and how? Imagine in these billions of years of evolution, what leads to the next one, we have no idea. So the conflict is only in the mind. We believe that life is supposed to be like this or that. We have some ideal about life, ideal about ourselves. So that's my answer. What does meditative bliss feel like? Have you ever taken ecstasy? MDMA? No, or LSD. I mean, many things. It's like like being in the sun. You know, you feel in the sun and from inside, but the sun is inside every one of your cells, and they're vibrating and pulsing, and it's like out of body experience. No, we get some types of. It's rare that we have bliss in our life. Sometimes we get it's like I'm saying. We think happiness is, we've mistaken happiness for like drinking coffee, you know, or like eating sugar. But these subtle qualities that require a quietness. No, it's in these states of awe. It's in these, because the bliss is a subtle vibration. It's not like a, you know, like a violent sex or something like that. You have to be quiet. And it's, but you can experience with psychedelics, and it's useful because once you taste that, then the pathway is already there. There's a recognition that's there, and that bliss is always inside of you. No, also I think with opioids, people experience that. And so inside your cells is the potential in your glands, in your pineal gland and pituitary gland, in your oxytocin, right, that comes from connection in this. Right, we have the capacity to make good drugs and get high off of our own supply. Right, we also have the capacity to make bad drugs, and usually we're making bad drugs with our own brains and chemistry. This is a fact. But we have the capacity, what in modern time they call biohacking, right, is that we activate the good drugs. And how we do that? With the breath hold, with the spine, all of these practices, right, are for retraining your hormones, your glands, your inner rhythm to be in this state of bliss. Sometimes people get with chanting, through devotion. Right? There's all different traditions you can experience this bliss. But the bliss only comes when you go beyond your mind, body and mind. No body, no mind. How do you know if you meant to fight for something or just give up? When are you supposed to let go? So, okay, listening to the inner voice. I give the listening to inner voice talk. You're walking in a park, and someone is singing, and they're singing out of tune, and it sounds terrible. Really like, it's grating, and you feel inside, you're like, ugh, right, gross. Right? And then you keep walking, and someone else is singing, and they're singing very beautifully. And you feel this, you feel like melting, like, this. And so this kind of or contraction or is the language of the intuition of the inner voice. And every moment, every second, with every object, every idea, you have this likes and dislikes, right? And it's happening like this, very, very, very quickly, unconsciously. And so, first thing is, in order to pay attention, you have to be quiet. Because the intuition, the inner voice doesn't speak with words. It's not like thinking. That's the mind and thinking. That's a mechanical thinking and weighing the pros and cons and all of this, analyzing and comparing and contrasting, trying to find the best solution. This is a mind. This is not the inner voice. The inner voice is not that language at all. So if you want to hear the inner voice, first you have to be totally quiet and then just listen. And if you feel something, it's already inside. We already have the knowing, but we don't listen. Two, we don't trust it. Even if we feel something, then we feel like, no, I can't believe that. I don't trust it. So you have to learn to be quiet and to listen. Sometimes nothing's coming. Then maybe it's not time. We don't know yet. Sometimes you have to wait. You can't just rip the flower out of the seed. You have to give time. Sometimes it's not time. We don't know yet. So first is listening. Second is trusting. Third is acting on the intuition. At first, very difficult. Why is it so difficult to hear our intuition, to listen to our inner signal? I figured this out. Is when we're very young, infants, nowadays, this is a modern problem. Before, we didn't have this problem. Before, we were living naturally. But in the modern world, what happened is our parents forced us to eat at a fixed time. And sometimes then I'm not hungry. Inside, I don't feel hunger, no signal of hunger. But they're forcing me to eat. And if I don't eat, if I follow my internal signal, I get negative feedback. But if I listen and obey and do what they want me to do, then I get positive feedback. By disregarding my internal signal in order to obey for what? Food, sleep, and going to the toilet. 3 main things. We're forced to go to the toilet, even you're not. In some countries, they don't. I only know this because in Cambodia, they don't do that. They don't force the children to eat when they're not hungry or sleep or go to the toilet. They let them be natural. But and I would grow up, I was forced. And so then I no longer trust my own internal signal for sleeping or for this. Instead, I'm people-pleasing. I say, oh, they want me to sleep, then if I do what they want me to, then I get the positive feedback. But if I listen to my own internal signal, and then I don't, so then we start to distrust or to not listen to our own internal signals, and instead only be paying attention to others to get approval from others. Because eating, going to the toilet, and sleeping, the 3 foundational aspects of existence. And so that's why we need to do training in order to listen to the intuition, listen to your inner voice. It's there, it's never gone away, it never goes away. It's there every moment. It's not even hiding. It's that we're distracted, we're disconnected. So that's why through your daily practice, you're also connecting with your inner intuition. That's why any moment this good idea can come, or some old memory can come, or because it's going on at the deep level, not on the surface. How do I find what brings me joy? Well, one, we have to learn to taste joy, learn the taste of joy, learn the smell of joy. Even before you can taste it, maybe you can smell it. You have to be open to joy. No, it's a different frequency in the heart. And so once you learn that pathway, then anything can bring you joy. A leaf falling, smoke in the sky, a child laughing, right? It's not even like, oh, there's like only one, it's like the thing that brings me joy. It's like opening that joy channel, and for sure there must be things, you don't have to look very far, maybe a certain type of food, right? Or some culture, a color, or some dance, a certain dance. You have to examine the life and see what sparks your interest, what makes you feel alive, what turns you on. No matter what it is, and start with that, right? At least give a little space for that in your daily life, and then as you do it, feel how you feel. How does it make you feel? Then how do you feel afterwards in your daily life? No, you have to pay attention. No, to know you have to pay attention. The joy is already there. There's joy somewhere. Many times we're disregarding because we're very practical and we have to work and the money and life is hard and everything. But the joy is not far away. We don't have to look very far. It's more through a softening and an allowing. And also, joy is really nice to share with others. This is why community is so important. Right? And so to find community, it can be like even like sewing community or a painting community or a dance community or anything, service community. But community is a catalyst for joy. It can be, or it can be a catalyst for negativity. Nowadays, a lot of negativity in the world. This is the problem. Lots and lots and lots of negativity. And so that's why, again, we recommend to take time each day to clean your heart, clean your mind. It's like a lot of pollution now. A lot of pollution. You have to have a good filter to filter that pollution. So now a lot of heart pollution, mind pollution. A lot of negativity. Some of it we take inside. So it's inside. We need to filter it and get it out. It's not ours. Is sadness inside, anger inside? It's not my anger. It's not my sadness. No, it's just, it comes in and we have to filter it out. Underlying the sadness, the anger, the frustration is the pure love. At the core, it's like a muddy water. And if you filter it, then the essence is still that same love and power. Underneath of everything is the same power. And so it's not we need to cut off our arms and our legs and our head or anything. Just simply through the practice, you filter the rhythm and vibration in your nervous system, in your cells, in your spine, in your eyes, in your brain, in your heart. You make it very beautiful, very smooth, very alive, and then see what happens. See how if that has any effect on your day-to-day life. But I can assure you, if you were to practice tennis every day, hold the racket, swing the racket, toss the ball, hit the ball, forehand, backhand volleys, then it would become very natural to be skillful, this kind of effortless mastery. Just in the flow, you don't have to think. You're not thinking. The ball's coming. You're not thinking, and you just swing, and everything happens as it should. So this is what we're going for: training that kind of like that's regular. Just that it becomes the flow. It becomes the habit. Last question. How do I know what I want to do with my life? Well, we know we have lots of wants. The wants we know, but the wants we have many desires. But what should we do? What's to be done? Nowadays, when people talk about life, they're talking usually about some career, is what people mean. What career should I do? But actually, this kind of interpretation is only the last 100 years, 150 years. Before, the central focus of life was not like, what should I be when I grow up? What kind of career do I want? How am I going to make money? No, it was like before you kind of you were forced into this thing. We didn't have all these choices. Whatever your parents did, you did, or in that village, whatever. So life wasn't centered around having to prove something and to make a difference or to achieve some kind of societal position or success or something like that. And so I still don't believe that life is about that. I don't think that actually if that's the core focus of life, I feel like it's bound to be empty and cut off. And so for me, the focus of life is to be yourself, to be fully yourself, and to live that deeply and truly in your own unique way. And in order to do that, it requires this training to stay in shape. It requires a tuning. It requires a warm-up. It requires a sincerity. And as to then how, in relationship and how to raise the children and what to do with all of that will come when you're grounded in yourself. Now, you'll be guided through life, right? We're born in a certain place. We have certain tendencies. Life pushes, there are many things that we have to learn how to follow the trail of life and to see all the gifts we've been given. But if you're disconnected from yourself, then no matter what you achieve, it will be tasteless. So this is why so then one to be in tune, one to be aligned with life. To be in tune with life, to be aligned with life, it's not a thought. Right, you have to, is it clear? To be myself, doesn't mean like, okay, I'm a yoga guy who's 46, born in the US, and I'm running a business. No, that's not myself. That's an obituary. Right? To know myself doesn't mean I have a couple cute sentences and categories to put myself is unfolding every moment. It's infinite. Infinite. Every cell is myself, every experience I've ever had. So the few pieces in my mind, my idea of the past, my idea of myself is not myself. Myself is so much more. My idea of the past is not the past. The past is everything that's ever happened anywhere, all time. I just see a little piece of it, and then I make a big story. So this is not myself. So I can't know myself. I can't, there will be no point where I have a couple good sentences and it's like, okay, I know myself. You are discovering and living that moment to moment. There are infinite layers and infinite dimensions, and there's no, even you pick and choose a couple pieces of this and that and weave it together, that is not yourself. So the good news is, to be yourself, you don't need to know yourself. To be yourself, you can't know yourself. Whatever you know is a limited story about one little part of your life. One little fragment. Each day you have infinite moments of different dimensions and layers with different people and different stories and threads and everything. And so to be yourself is a kind of a fullness, a richness, and aliveness. But it's not like that you can explain something to everyone and everything. No, it's impossible. It's a trap. So this I consider this to be the ultimate success. Right? It's not about whatever we achieve in the world, but it's about to show up authentically, radically, vulnerably, moment to moment, as yourself. And that's an ongoing process. It's a journey. It's a discovery. It's an adventure. This is the adventure. It's not over. It's not, oh, I found it, it's done or something like that. It's endless discoveries. And for me, that's what's brought me the greatest joy. Since I was young, the possibility to evolve, to grow, to learn. And so I've invested everything that I have into that. My whole life has been focused in that vein. And so this is what I want to share with you. This is the original path of yoga. It has nothing to do with the fitness yoga, studio yoga, rock stars, acrobatic circus thing. Right? We're talking, this is a science and art of how to be yourself. Like gardening. How to grow a garden, beautiful garden. Where's the garden? You are the garden. And so no matter what state your garden is in right now, even it's all shriveled up, like a desert. Look, in Israel, it was a big desert. Now they have beautiful, lush oasis. So if you water your body, heart, and mind, no one's doing it. We're living in the dark ages. No, everybody's wasting away. No, and so this gives you a huge advantage. Huge advantage. If you're rooted, if you create the beautiful environment in your heart, then this will benefit every aspect of your life. This is not spirituality. This is practical. This is practical living. Practical for a good life. It's not enough you just brush your teeth and take a shower. You have to clean your mind. You have to clean your heart. If you clean your heart and mind every day, if you clean your cells and organs and glands and blood and nervous system every day, then life will blossom in you. It's not even up to you. Life knows what to do. Life is doing everything. So that's the good news. You don't have to do it. It's no pressure. You don't have to be good. You just have to be yourself and allow life to blossom through you. This is yoga. So let's take a moment to be quiet. Come back to center. Sit up tall. Close your eyes. Look up. Take a few quiet breaths. Inhale deeply. Oh.